Hello, my name is Sackett. We're playing Fear Not the Night. I hope my sound is working. Um, I was out looking for some clay, and I found trouble. I found this tower. I also found some clay. Okay, that's the first spider we've killed in this pack. I found some clay, not very much. I found one of the smallest swamps I've ever seen. And so I went out and I looked for some more clay, and I saw this tower on the map, and we've been in one of these before. I want to say it was in medieval Minecraft. And we're in the dungeon downstairs, and I heard a spider. And it's one of these apotheosis guys, and I really want to get him, because normally in like a regular world where mobs are spawning in the dark, you kind of drown in the apotheosis gear. Here it's pretty rare to find. Alright, we're just gonna hope he doesn't blow up. So when we see one of these guys, we really want to take advantage. What do we get? Okay. Now I'm going to explore the rest of this place. There's all kinds of illagers and horrible things. Found a pickup upgrade. We could put this right in our backpack. It'll pick stuff right off the ground. Alright, let's get back up there. Anyway, this is the hello. The downstairs is big corridors. Let's grab this stuff. We'll be back there for the chest. I just wanted to get that stuff before it despawned. There's a ton of stuff in here, so I'm gonna loot and then we'll head upstairs. The Vindicator is not by far the only guy around. I've seen archivists, I've seen all kinds of things. Provokers. Like, who's this guy here? A necromancer. Bananas. Oh my goodness. Yeah, here's a guy, huh? I don't know what he does. Oh, he makes me float. My goodness. And guys throw lingering potions? Pretty wild. Alright, that's the downstairs. Now there's two ways to get down here. One of them is to break some pistons and use these stairs. There's also a big pit that we'll see. And there are more guys up here. I'll take these too. Why not? And we're gonna get up here, deal with them. Oh, there's a ton of them. Oh, and they're tough. Oh, we're gonna die. Oh. Now, we were thousands of blocks away, but fortunately, we have it. we spawned in with an enchanted grave key from Corral. This will allow us to pick up our grave and get the heck out of here. Not quite prepared to just face tank a bunch of those guys in a tiny room, apparently. So we'll just call this Pillagers and Zach on home. Nice. We did pretty well in there too. I mean, all kinds of loots. Now I have worked on the house some, and I tried to record some of this, but the sound borked out. The crafting recipes for this stuff, you can find it all in JI. These look like they'll take any vanilla too tall plant and make him look all fancy. So that's nice. We have a bunch of different things from handcrafted. We've got, McCaw's furniture. And there will be quest lines for this stuff, but you could look up the recipes in JAI. Now, one thing we do have after a run like that is some garbage. And we have a trash slot, but we also have trash cans. And there's one for item, one for liquid, one for energy, one for everything. And we can pipe in and out of them. You got a white list and a black list. They're very fancy. Do be careful. Anything you shift click in there is gone. I want to get into bees, but let's see, we need a book. But as we get into bees, we're going to find ourselves needing more and more power. And kind of the next thing on the power menu is lava power. We're going to pump some lava in from the nether, and we're going to use this block from chicken chunks to load the chunk. What we're going to pump with is the block from ranged pumps. Now what this thing does is it pumps out lava and replaces it with stone, so you don't have a bunch of running lava all over the place. We are also going to need at least 2 magmatic dynamos. Those are what we're going to use to turn lava into power. And we're going to need some Invar gears. We're going to need some iron. There we go. And we're also going to need some fluid pipes. And we're going to get those from the pipes mod. We just need a couple of buckets and some iron and some redstone. Now the other thing that we're going to need is a way to get the lava from the nether to the overworld. And we're going to be going back to ender storage. Now we're going to use these ender tanks. There we go. 2 ender tanks. And we're going to want to dye the tops. I'm going to put one down just right here for now. It'll be fine. Very nice. Let's go to the nether. Okay. Here we are at our favorite spot. We are going to want to be down on lava level here. So let's, this will be a fine spot. Now what we're going to do, we're going to come right here. And we're going to put the pump right there. Now we will need to power it. So, let's see. I don't know, did I bring the crescent hammer? I did not. So that is not the way to do that. Here we go. There's a racket out here, isn't there? We'll put that right there, so it's pointing in the right direction. We'll take 1 bucket of lava, prime this thing, and it'll start giving this thing some energy. It'll start pumping some lava. We're going to get our pipes. We're going to set to extract from here. And finally, well, not finally, but we will put the ender tank here. And although the chunk isn't loaded in the overworld right now, this will, the two will share an inventory. Now we are going to load this chunk. There's a couple different modes. You can see what it's doing. There's like this square mode. It's fine. But the other thing we're going to do is make this a little safer. Because, it's me we're talking about. Now we're going to go ahead and put a a waystone down here. That ought to be fine. We'll call this pump, and then we'll be able to tear down the nether portal we have uglying up the lawn. Hey, there we have it. Now, we're going to leave this going for now. We're going to want several of these tanks and probably more than a few of these dynamos, but I'm going to get a couple buildings ready for bees. But I thought, if it was in reach, there's a huge depression out there that I don't like. This is it. What would it take? We'd need some. Okay, so second tier runes, some pasture seeds, terra steel, and a rune of earth. This isn't bad. Now, for instance, here's the rune of spring. These runes in the recipe on the altar will not get consumed. We'll get them back. So we're going to make the seasonal runes first, because our rune of earth is going to get consumed when we make the wand. Now we're already set up out here with our runic altar. And then what was the rest of it? We needed a water and a fire. Okay, so there's our fire. There's our water. It'll start making it. These second tier use more mana than the first tier, and there's another tier past these that use even more, but we have plenty. Now when it's done, it'll let you know. Now we can come on over here, and we have, where is it? Our rune of spring, and we got our other two back. So I'm going to make the rest of these. Now to actually make a cake in this, we don't have a farmer out here as yet. I don't feel like going to get another villager, so we're going to have to make some sweet berries, because we don't have any. We can do that with something called an alchemy catalyst. Now when we were setting up this original mana pool, we put it up a block, and the reason is there's something I want to easily be able to take in and out, and it is that alchemy catalyst. We're just going to need this mana pearl and some living rock and some gold. Here we go. Slide it right under here, and this will allow us to do all kinds of transformations, not the least of which is apples into sweet berries. One does not simply throw some wheat and milk and eggs onto a table and come up with some cake. There's a whole rabbit hole here, and it's going to start with sugar dough. We're going to need some flour, which we can get by grinding up wheat in our pulverizer. We could also use a millstone for this, but we can use a pulverizer. And get some milk. There we go. A little bit of sugar dough. And we're going to want to, let's see, we can get the cake base with an egg and milk. Let's see if it's, yeah. It does not like this sugar dough cooking for blockheads. It may not like a lot of this create food stuff. That'd be a shame, but that's also okay. This is going to be mostly decorative anyway. We're going to dye these and make it nice. We'll be doing most of the cooking probably with refined storage. But let's go ahead and, oh, we're going to need an egg. Let's get an egg out of here. And go ahead and make our cake base. This is just cake, folks. It's 2 pages of cake. There we go. Raw cake paste. I'm going to go ahead and cook it up. There we go. Now we're also going to need to frost it. So let's see. Okay, we'll need cream frosting. So we're going to need butter or cream cheese. I bet we could do butter. We're going to end up going through a lot of milk in this and continually coming out to our cows here will become tiresome. So we're first going to make ourselves a milk jar with just planks, bucket of milk, and some glass. Now we're going to take that milk jar and we're going to set it down a couple blocks. There we go. Now we're going to encourage one of our friends to go down the hole. Come on, buddy. Come on. You know you want to. There we go. We're going to take our anvil and drop it right on the cow, which is going to end up in the jar. And that's going to, once we put it down, oh my goodness. Alright. Once we put it down, they all down here? Did I just kill all our cows? We got one cow. That's okay. We can summon more. Anyway. Down over here. Start filling up. We can pump out of these. We will be pumping out of some of these. I have a little bit of salt going down here. What you do is you craft one of these salt blocks out of 9 of the salt dust. And you just put it in a water source and it starts growing salt layers like snow. We'll want to get some more of those going and probably find a way to automate that. Now we can make the bottle of milk directly. This will supply buckets. And what we're going to need to do is come over here, 3 milk and 3 salt into our cooking pot. And this will get us our first butter. I didn't know I was getting into the cooking today. And we get our bottles back. It's very nice. Alright, our butter's done. Now, I don't know if it would let us make... It probably won't, right? Even if we have the bucket, it won't let us make heavy cream. I didn't think so. So we will need a bucket of milk. And with the milk and one of the butters, we'll get some heavy cream. And then we'll take the heavy cream, butter and sugar. And again, I doubt. Yeah, it doesn't like those recipes. That's okay. We can just come over here. Make our cream frosting bucket. And then with some glass bottles, we can get bottles of frosting. There we go. And we can frost our cake. And then we can put some berries on it. And here we go. One cake. Now for snow, we're gonna have to get some water adjacent to a pure daisy. And my guess is it'll just break the flour. Yeah. So what we could do is get rid of the bucket here. Oh my goodness. We can put our daisy back. We could put the water right here, and this will convert it into snow. I'm gonna get another one going over here. Awesome. Oh, not as awesome. And finally, one wool. All right. And what else do we need? We need water and an earth. Awesome. Now for the rod itself, what we need is first a rod of the lands. And that's going to take a twig. And this thing is pretty cool. What it will do is for the low price of a little bit of mana, it'll create and place some dirt. Now for the rod of the terra firma, not the short grass, we're going to need some good old-fashioned regular Minecraft grass, which we can turn into a fern with the catalyst underneath, but we can turn into a pasture seed without the catalyst underneath. Finally, with one of these terra steel ingots that we've been making, we can make our rod of the terra firma. Now, the depression I'm talking about is all of this down here. I want to bring all of that up to this level here, 78. And these are these leaves that I was talking about on the fruit trees. Now, I do not know how they will behave. If they will have an interaction with the whirly sprig, I don't know. These are just, vanilla woods. But I wanna at least give it a shot with the whirly sprig. These leaves and get the fruit to appear. We'll see if we're getting saplings, so the whirly sprig definitely likes the block. We'll see. We'll see how we do. Not the glowberries, but, glowberries, but we have figs, mangoes, oranges. Very nice. Okay, that's so much better. Alright, I want to build us some buildings for some bees. Now, I would like to have some fancy doors in our building, so that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to have one regular metal door, and then we're going to take some glass and then 2 iron nuggets, get ourselves one of these metal warning doors. Another thing we should make to help us with our building here, that's mahogany. Here we go. Is one of these wood cutters. You can make them out of any of the 3 woods from Hexarray. And it's like a stone cutter for wood, except you do a little better with your planks. Much better with your stairs. And they work like the iron doors. Need a redstone signal to open and close them. Now I have added painting preview and simply light to the pack. We'll be putting out 2.1 probably tonight. This is Sunday, so that both of you who are playing, it's okay. I'm playing it myself. That's the point. It's cool if other people play it, but I understand if they don't. Anyway, these are cool little lights that we can use. Make things a little nicer in here. Now for the walls of this thing that we're gonna build, I want to use some blocks from Domum, these cream bricks. We have, I've been grinding up gravel. These are, where'd they go? Cream bricks, here we go. Sand bricks? No. Beige bricks. I lost track of them. There they are. These look pretty nice. Yeah, here they are. Nice light color. Those are gonna look great. Okay, so we're starting to go on a little long. I guess they're gonna get into productive bees next time, unless I get distracted by things like dyeing and cake again. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.